Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. So it's been about maybe a few days since my last video where I was talking about, I said some shit like I'm not an incel, I'm just not stupid. So here's the thing. This is not part two of that video. I was thinking about making a part two of the video, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. The video's already made, so I'm just gonna move on to another topic. So in relation to that, um, this next video is gonna be about these dumbass niggas that call themselves the passport brothers or whatever. What they call themselves, the passport brothers, passport bros or whatever, right? So yeah, the disclaimer to the video is in the description below. Like, share, subscribe. But anyway, like I was saying now, so here's the reason why I don't have respect for the Manosphere or the passport bros or whatever. Here's the reason why. Okay, so these niggas, what they do is they get a passport. You spend hundreds of dollars on a passport. You spend hundreds of dollars for these expensive plane tickets and these expensive hotels, all to just go overseas to a country in the Caribbean or a country in Africa to deal with these black women. And these are not even black women that are like you know, educated with a job or a career or a business in her name. No, no. No, let me tell you what the Manosphere and the Passport Bros did. What they did was they took they took several $1,000s that they saved up to get these to pretty much pay for these expensive trips to meet black women in other third world developing countries and nations where the women don't even have a chance of even getting a job or an education. And basically, they just get with these women. They're not wifing them up or nothing. So, with that being said, you niggas set up here. You spend $5,000 to $10,000 on a trip to Brazil or the Caribbean or to Africa to be with the same black women that you were complaining about on YouTube over here in America. You see what I mean? Because my thing is, you did not want to be with black women that were uneducated, with with no degrees. You didn't want to be with a black woman that didn't have a job or a business in her name, right? Well, not all of them. Not all of them. Like some of the Manosphere and the Passport Bros were like, well, I don't want a black woman that don't have a business or a job. I mean, a business in her name or a job. But long story short, my thing is, you niggas, you went overseas, international, right? You spent $5,000 to $10,000 to be with the same black women that don't have an education or degree in their name, the same black women that don't have a job, the same black women that don't have a business in her name. Like in all of these other countries overseas, like a lot of black women are unemployed. They don't have a degree or a business in their name. Okay, and I know that I just said some black women, international, not all, but these black men, you went overseas to deal with black women that had nothing going on in their life but them just, pretty much showing you a good time because you spent a few dollars here and there for her time, right? So my thing is like the way the Manosphere and the Passport Bros were thinking, it was like this. Why in the world should I spend $100 or $200 on a black woman in America when I could just spend $20 or $40 on a black woman in the Caribbean or a black woman in Africa or a black woman in Brazil? You see what I mean? So these niggas just really just went overseas for a better discount. You see what I mean? It wasn't for them to go over there to find a girlfriend or a wife and bring them back to America. No. Now I will admit there probably were a handful of Manosphere and Passport Bros that did go overseas to Africa in the Caribbean or Brazil to find a black woman that they can bring back home as their girlfriend or wife. But most of those niggas, they just went over there to just, you know, have a good time for a week or two or maybe a month if they got that kind of money. But my thing is, all that money that you spent on these black women in these foreign countries, in Africa and the Caribbean and in Brazil, you could have been spending that same type of money on a black woman in America. But I understand where exactly where you guys was going to come from with this, because you know, if it's cheaper to deal with a black woman from a third world developing country than dealing with a black woman that's here in America, then you probably are pretty much saving yourself a lot of money in the long run. But it just depends. But to each his own. No, I still think that it was kind of a waste of time, because at the end of the day, you may have paid less overseas for a black woman, but the trip overall was still expensive, and you probably lost more money due to the trip overall in general than you did messing with a black woman in America. All right, and that's all I gotta say for it.